Y'all ready? Season 2, episode 1, Hap and Leonard, Mucho Mojo. Let's get to it, people. Let me tell y'all, out the gate, it's crazy. Suspense music. Old school pickup truck pulls into like this dark, gloomy area with its headlights on, and it's got the smoke going. You see the dust from the ground coming up. It's real like, this guy comes out. You can't see his face. He's all super mysterious. He's got like a cloak or a hoodie or some type of covering over him, which is like some Freddy Krueger type creep mode. So we see him dragging this heavy 100 and something pound. It's like a metal framing with a cross on it, like a crucifix cross on it. And he's just dragging it like it's a dead body, dragging it, right? Then, oh hell no, we see the same man who was carrying the crucifix gate. What is really going on with Hap and Leonard this season? What is going on? Who little boy is this? Who is this creep mode man pulling the little boy in the gate? What does this mean? And they already starting this season off crazy. So the writers and producers said, how else can we creep everybody out? Oh, let's tie the little my kid buddy kid. Let's tie him to the fencing with twine and drops him off into the water. Splash! Drops the little person into, rest in peace, whoever you are, but we're gonna find out. I feel like Hap and Leonard's gonna find out what happened to you by the end of the season. First 2 minutes of the show was crazy, man. Into the murkiest water too. Didn't drop him off in some beautiful water. Dropped him off at nighttime. Old after midnight water. The next shot is it being morning time in the water. And you see a fisherman out with like a gallon jug. And he's throwing it out like he's gonna, reel something in it. He looks down and it's bones, shorts, and little kid clothes. No face, no nothing. It's just bones. 20-something years or so then passed. Some creepy shit that happened. What would you do if you were out trying to get some trout, some bluegills in the water? That's not funny. But if you were and you accidentally saw a boot would be scary enough. Some pants would be a toilet seat, but some bones? I forgot to tell you. The little kid still had the little red tennis shoes on. So now we see Hap, which is James Purefoy. For those that don't know, Leonard is. They're like best friends. They're awesome together. They're like the best combo ever in television. Whoop, whoop, for real. So Hap is at the mortuary, I believe, and he is picking up Trudy Foss. Can't stand Trudy. Trudy caused so much trouble last season. So much of a headache. If you don't know, watch season 1. Trudy was his life love who was hellish. She brought hell on wheels with her no matter what it was like. I'm happy she's gone. Tired of her. Bye. Thank you. You see Hap getting the ashes, which we believe to be ashes, in a little box, and he's walking to his car. He's all sad and, looking all just distraught. He's just distraught. Also, like so far with episode 1 of season 2, what year is this? We don't know. We know it's old school, but how far old school are we going? I like that. Hap can't even get in the car. He didn't put that chick in his front seat. Her ashes in the front seat. Now his dang on door handle then broke off already. So now Hap's at work in the garage, tinker around on an old school pickup truck, and somebody says, "Is that what I think that is in a box?" They put a rose on top. It's beautiful. He says, "Hey, that's my ex-wife in the box, Trudy. Even though we weren't together, I always knew she was out there. Now I know where she is." That's kind of sad. They did get your heart there. Why you got to do it so hard? That's what Leonard said. First of all, what it looked like is Leonard's with his boo, the nurse, and they having some special time because he's holding his dog tags in his mouth like he's bracing himself for some impact. I don't know. I agree with Leonard's boo that I feel like Uncle Chester haunts that house too. I think you need to burn that mug down. I think you need to get up out of there because some creepy stuff up in there. So wasn't his uncle comment below, what is Uncle eating, like cat food last season? I'm just saying. But anyway, I love Leonard's spouse because he always wears the best Daisy Dukes ever. I'm just saying, he always gives that face like, yes. In his back rubbed by his boo. Leonard peeks out the window. He sees his neighbor in a Kango hat, a freaking dookie rope gold chain, his chest out because he's got a dang on velour tracksuit on. And I swear he got a jerry curl rat tail. Where they find him at? Where did they find him? Like, anyway, so this dude is in front of Leonard's window, and you know he don't play that. Leonard said, "You call that a hilarious?" But he said, "You better stop on my rose bush, boy." I already tell some type of foolery going around in that house directly next door to Leonard's home. Like, it's a whole bunch of people out on the porch kicking it. I bet that's going to play a big part in the season 2. Leonard's boo leaves in his Vespa. Skirts off. I love that scene. Whoever wrote that. Leonard proceeds to pow! Hit him. Da-da! Right in his Kango. I don't know his name. The neighbor with the dookie chain and the freaking glasses, the Red DSC glasses, knocked him in. He fell down, throws his cane down, staggers on top of the dude with his legs, it whips it out, and he starts peeing on the guy. And he says, "Pretty, ain't it?" Another neighbor directly across the street now from this craziness is an older African-American lady, the grandma figure. I had to look close. I had to... Is that Big Mama from Soul Food? I said, "Oh shoot, Armor P. Hall is up in this thing. Ah, stick together. Ooh, it's like a fist. Ooh, yes." I said, yes. I said, "I already know this season is off to a good start. Well, yeah, I got her, Miss Hall in it. You know, her character is going to bring the pain. I like it. It's interesting. All of these new people." So does she know something about Esther? If she's his neighbor, of course she knew something was fishy going on in his house. Find out. She's laughing on her porch. And you know, if they already having her on the porch, you know that means she sees everything, hears everything, knows a lot. Our good friend Leonard now walks into his house after peeing all over that man, shouting out, "Hey, Meemaw," because that's the grandma figure. That's what we're going to call her from now on, is Meemaw. And he walks in the house, turns the movie off that he was watching with his boo, freaking steps them cowboy boots into the floor, and the wood floor in the house. He falls through it. He's like, "Well, what the hell now, Uncle Chester? This house is a mess." I think the writers and whatnot really wanted to stress that, you know, this is the hood. Leonard's running around with, I think that's an El Camino. Don't quote me. If it's an El Camino, right below. If you know what kind of car it is, right below, so I know. But I think it's an El Camino, his blue car. He's rolling through the hood. You see a grown-ass man on a little girl bike with the stream prints on the side of the handlebars. His big ass was on the bike going down the street. Then we see like a little kid, an interesting kid. I believe he was albino, had a blonde afro, and he just looks different compared to all the other people there. So the camera just draws you to him. Let's see where this goes. So Hap pulls up to Leonard's house and he's like, "Hey, what you call me here for?" Leonard says to Hap, "Hey, what's in the box?" He's like, "Trudy." He goes, "What you walking around with her for?" Leonard says, "That bitch almost got me killed. She ain't coming up in my house." So he makes him put her in his car. Problem number one I already see is he ain't locked the car doors. Lock how it take. Lock the car door, man. They go into the house, you know, low crawling all through the crawl space of the house, trying to get down so they can see what's going on. And he's like, "What do you need to show me?" Hap looks down in the baseboard. He says, "Oh, hell no, too." So they both said it. So you already know what's down there. Something crazy. In my head, I'm like, y'all get into so much stuff. Y'all need to call them people. Do, 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 do. Call them. "Hey, Mercy, let me tell you what happened. I didn't do it." Grabs a lamp, puts it down. So you're seeing like, well, what did he see this time? What is it? What could it be? What we do see is the remains had to have been from a kid, and they had the same red tennis shoes, but on the backside of the tongue of the tennis shoes was a marker. It said BB. So what is BB? Did the uncle do this? Was the uncle the one in that cloak at the beginning scene doing some creepy stuff? So then, as Hap and Leonard are arguing on the side of the house about should they call the police, should they not call the police? Call the police? Hell no, I ain't calling the police. The little kid with the blonde afro goes to the El Camino, shatters the glass, takes the box. I don't know if he thought it was a box of Rolexes, but it's really a box of a stupid chick named Trudy. So they start chasing the kid. So at this point, we see Hap chasing the kid over a fence as Leonard is driving the El Camino. The kid is still running. The police see it all going on, but they didn't do anything. They didn't step in. So the kid throws Trudy in the back of a garbage truck, which is kind of funny. They get back to the house. She's gone. Leonard's like, no, she's not. And Leonard says, she's dead, and I'm still cleaning up her mess. That was deep. So the popo arrived with the kid, but the hood rules must have been in order because they didn't tell what really happened. But they did end up telling the police to go check the bones in the basement bones. Next shot, the whole house is canvassed with police, and Hap and Leonard are over at Mima's house eating dinner. So Mima, as they're having their meal on the front porch, Mima says that Milton is mad. We know now Milton is the drug dealing type dude of Leonard's neighbor with the bald head and the rat tail in the rat Jerry curl tail in the back. That's his name, Milton. So she says Milton is mad and he has little kids selling drugs. So now we also see two more new characters, which is a police detective and what appears to be a sheriff. They're giving him off like he's a shady sheriff. As Hap and Leonard are leaving with the detective, we see hands, which belong to African American creeper, but in the creeper ice cream truck van minus the sound and the ice cream. Anyway, so we can only assume at this point that he's the Napper Man. So my question so far is, did Uncle Chester do it? Also, who is this Napper Man? Then was Chester and him on a napper team, just napping children back in the day? Also, what's the deal with the blind kid? And who is the my kid buddy with the red shoes? What is the significance of the red shoes at this point? Last season was only 3 months ago, so season 1 to now is a 3 months in between time. As the detectives are talking to Hap and Leonard, they're saying, y'all need to check the shoes, man. The red shoes got something play into it. And the detectives like, what shoes? Body ain't have a head, hands, or feet. And they're looking at each other like, who took the shoes? Who took the shoes? So Hap and Leonard are at the police station getting an interview with the detectives. Mid-interview, a lawyer storms in. I'm talking about storms in. And we now are introduced to Florida, not the pretty southern state, but a pretty southern belle. And she basically says, hey, let them pin the body on Chester. All Hap and Leonard, all y'all have to do is not act out again, which we know cannot happen. It just won't happen because they gotta act crazy. So now they're back at Mima's house and we meet TJ. TJ is obviously, he's a little bit special, as high speed as the rest of everybody else. He's got, some special needs or whatnot. TJ is like an adult. I don't know. If I had to assume, TJ looked like he about 35. He might be 25. I don't know. But he's got the mind frame, I guess, of a 9-year-old. TJ comes out. He goes to Hap and Leonard with his hand, like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm TJ. And shakes their hand. And then Mima says, did you watch your hands, boy? And he goes and walks away. So somebody got some dookie on the fingers. Plus, we kind of get a, okay, TJ is impressionable. Mima's just at the house hitting them with history about, everybody. Leonard tells Hap that he needs to bury Trudy because the world is full of Floridas. Very powerful scene. TJ walks into the room and he's like, TJ on top. Now, mind you, Leonard was sitting on the top bunk because they have to sleep at Mima's house, mind you. So Leonard's sitting on the top bunk and his butt is already, look, his butt was like here. If you want a bed, you should be here. His butt was here. TJ on top is crazy. TJ butt gonna be here. Right here. Come on now. Breakfast time, we meet another new character. This guy is James Fitzgerald. He is Mima's grandson, her adult grandson, who is a minister, and he has a different type of stare. Not a crazy-eyed stare, just something's messed up within his eyes stare. Kind of religious freak, but he is hammering at Leonard's sexual preference, which is not cool. Yeah, you know how some folks like to take scripture and they like to flip it to make other people feel bad? That's the type of guy he is. Now that the police have cleared the scene and whatnot, so he's back at his house. He enters his home and he sees the little blonde kid coming down his stairs, and he's got a stagger step, like bam, 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 bam. He's like, that's a surefire way to get your hair blown off, you coming up in my house like that, little boy. And the little boy just he's just out of it. Blah, hits the floor. Ends up at the hospital. We now see Leonard's boo, who's the nurse with the Vespa and the Daisy Dukes, but he's, you know, he's professional. He's at work right now. The little kid's name is Ivan. At least that's what he's saying. So now we know him to be Ivan. All right, no more blonde afro kid. We're gonna call him Ivan from now on. All right, y'all with me? Ivan. So we gotta figure out what's up with Ivan and why does he feel safe enough to go to Leonard's. Maybe because Leonard showed Milton, the drug dealer with the rat tail, but all of this is Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Maybe because he showed him that he wasn't a joke, so he felt like, hey, if he can stand up to Milton, he can protect me. So I want to go to his house. That was interesting. Somebody comment below and tell me what Leonard's boo's name is. I need to know Nurse Vespa's name. Nurse Daisy Duke. Tell me what his real name is. Not his real name, not his IMDb name, but what is his character's name in the show. So we see Nurse Vespa telling Leonard, hey, I need you just to claim him as your nephew. Can you please just say I'm Uncle Leonard? And Leonard's like, yo, I don't know nothing about being nobody daddy, nobody uncle. And he's like, well, what did Uncle Chester know about raising a kid when he took you in? So now he's on his heartstrings. We know what's gonna happen. He's gonna take the kid in and they're back at his house and he's trying to get the kid to be right because he overdosed because Milton is selling that shit to them kids. Oh God, Trudy, why won't you just leave that man alone? Hap is on the bridge. See, he's trying to pay respect to Trudy, and Hap drops Trudy's remains over the bridge. Of course he goes in it. I don't know why. At this point, I can't take it. I got a bone to pick with Mr. Hap. Hap, my bone to pick with you is, why on earth are you jumping 30 feet off of a bridge for Trudy's remains? If you were going to distribute them into the water, just let it be. Just let the box. But you got to give it to that man because even in her death, he is still riding for her. Fast forward a little bit. He's in the water, laying, treading water on his back, box on his chest. He just starts giving the little bit of her, a little bit of Trudy over there, a little bit of, oh, you want some Trudy? You need some Trudy? Oh, let me put some in the water. And you could tell he's finally at peace with it all. That part is over with. He's walking home or walking to his car or whatever. He's a Otis for mayor getting nailed into the ground. And you could tell he's a little bit annoyed. My bad. It was Bo Otis. Elect him for judge. That's what it was. My bad. Leonard ends up being a nice guy that he truly is. Good side, bad side, you know. He ends up getting Ivan, so obviously he's Uncle Leonard now. He's taking him up to the room in the house, and he takes his shoes off. He's like, damn, boy, feet stank. Takes the shoes. He sees written on the back of his tongue, it says Ivan, I-V-A-N, the same way in marker as BB was in those red tennis shoes. So we see maybe they're in a group home together type deal, or where are these kids coming from, or what facility has a bunch of youth that they take their shoes off and they want their names written like that. That's going to be something that I guarantee you that's going to play a point. Interesting. Oh my goodness. So they knock on his door, them people, bang, bang, bang. Leonard behind. He gets arrested. As he's going down the street in the squad car, we see the Creeper ice cream blue old school van. Guy's got his cowboy hat. Looks like a black leather cowboy hat on top of his head. As they pull away, he lifts his head up. We see it's the same dude from Tales from the Crib. Tales from the Hood. These are good. These are Tales from the Hood. That was him, the same guy. I think his name's like Clarence or something like that. Anyway. Interesting where they going with it this season, people. Hang with me. I'm gonna be here the whole season. I'm gonna review it all, every episode. All right, y'all stay with me. Subscribe, hit like, comment below what you think is gonna happen. So y'all tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think for real. All right, y'all, hang with me. It's gonna be an interesting season.